want to just kind of say a couple of things to kind of give some context to some of the things that I'm really teaching and saying and seeing. It just came to mind, there's really Journey, let me get the spelling right, really and truly on its highest level, I don't mean high, in its deepest understanding, the whole Torah, the whole point, everything, it's the journey of what? Of the soul. It really is. And the soul is, as we're learning on the Tree of Life, is multifaceted. When it talks about the soul, it's sort of this all-inclusive. Like if you call, and it doesn't matter, if you call God, if you call Elohim, he, it doesn't bother me because it is in that context totally all-inclusive. I mean, we don't have to argue about it. You just put your mind there. It's all-inclusive. Men, women, children. So, but the journey of the soul, but we know that the soul really is, it's a body, it's a soul, and it's a little bit of a different usage. This is a little larger in its context. This is a little more specific, body, soul, and a spirit, okay? And really and truly, when I leave this room or when I, end this recording and go, I'm bringing my soul and my spirit with me. That's my new thing. I feel like I'm this big tunnel now, or I'm like before the Father. It's not just my body now. I understand where my emotions are, where this soul is, what it is, and then the mind, my mind. Okay, and so when I leave, I take that with me. And my mind, I'm understanding you are what you think. And as your mind is grasping you before the Father in this atmosphere, in this, because this dimensional reality, if you are what you think, I mean, that is Hebraic wisdom, but that really is the final conclusion of most. The mind, you are what you think, you create your own reality. Well, if that's really true, okay, then this mind that we're carrying around, okay, all this to say, and then see these three lines, okay. This is another representation. Now we can take, this is done in script, or I'm explaining something about body, soul, and spirit. But what if I was to diagram it more pictographically, more geometrically, all right, or and to make the same point but using a different mental construct, which is what the Torah does all the time, flipping around. So, but what I want to talk about, the journey of the soul. So in the beginning, and we'll use the word Yahweh, all right, to describe overarching, all right, the high name, the name which is Yod He Vav He, which is a holy name, the Tetragrammaton. I don't necessarily want to say Hashem because here again, that's even narrowing that down, which I believe though Hashem is a great way to say it, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, which means the name, so, but Yahweh. But then we have these other, under like that category, if you were to die, there's all these names of God. I mean, how many names can a guy have, right? And that is the point, as many as he wants, and it's infinite, because everything really is, when you understand it from the perspective of love, is the name of God, okay? Because remember, he created all things, nothing was made without him, he is all things, and yet all things serve him. I mean, this whole concept, all right? But I'm getting to my point, I hope you see, because I want us to think now in larger archetypes, okay? Because we're getting out of the Prashad, we got to go deep. But because, and now my context, because this is quote unquote gay month, I'm not gonna get myself into much trouble. Whatever, it's just by their own acknowledgement, that's what it is. Okay, well, hey, I'll take a gay month, but I'm going back to the original concept here. Wouldn't we all love a gay month? Yeah, give me some gaiety in my life, some joy, some just no strings attached ease and ability to relax and let my guard down and enjoy. Oh, I'd love that, okay? Well, that's what to me it is, because when you know the truth shall set you free, and you will have that joy, that gaiety. So yes, and every month can be a gay month in that way, as far as concerned. What else is it? But see, this is why I'm fundamentally, I want to explain something. In the beginning, Yahweh created them. He made them male and female. I didn't write the text. I don't think there's any other translatable way to do that in all of, anybody. If you're a Jewish or Christian or Islamic background, there's no other way really to translate those words. Okay, right? So we're talking about he made them male and female. Okay. And who did it? It did Yahweh. So, I think I got that one. And right here, we have the beginning. See these lines? I mean, now we're into geometry. This is a pictograph. We're going to take this and we're going to graph it. All right. What we have now is an immediate dualism. This is one of the huge things in the Bible. Okay. And he has separated. Now, see, when you can think high enough, what we're doing, see, we're not talking about a literal, we're not at the place here where he is literally taking the race that he has just created, the race of living souls, which is what of Adam, and on the sixth day, on the level of physicality. So, okay, we're not there at all. We're not even down here. We're up here. We got to start high. You got to start at the top, right? And then work your way down. It's exactly what the Father did. So we're up here in this place called Hokmah and Bina, okay, on the tree of life. This is Keter. This is equipped to Yahweh. I mean, this is the high God, the Ancient of Days. This is the, the high God. But for argument's sake, there's a lot of names and so on. This is where the beginning, the point. I don't want to get too much. Okay, but then we go to this. There's a flow here to the right. There is a geometric line you make. There's another geometric line you make to Bina. Okay, so that's exactly what we have here. Just want to keep it all straight, okay? But this is Hokmah, this is Bina. I've been through this a lot. These are Hebrew. This is why you're doing it's the same as the male and the female. Okay, so what you have to understand, everything is very light. You take one archetype. So if this is what's here on the tree of life, see that diagram, the circle, it's got to fit on your next, where you're going to try to pictograph it and explain it in another. Okay, you can't start moving the circles around or something. And when we imprint, to engrave, right? If you're going to make it's going to be the same each time. Everyone has to fit into everyone else. Like, okay, so these things, he doesn't change. He's not disorderly. So we have this male and this female. Okay, so it has nothing to do with the physicality of men and women down here yet at all, period. These are words that have been picked. And this is the thing about Hebrew. Oh, I love it. And I said, Hebrew is a very descriptive, flowery, really beautiful language pictographically too, but it's concrete. In terms of and this is its thing we take, and in big way they'll talk about the Greek mindset and the Hebraic mindset, right? They're kind of antithesis. They're put in a dualism, but the Greek mind is, I understand now, we're not going to use a Greek mind. We're going to use the Hebraic mind. So everything has to be rooted in nature. It's concrete. You can't make stuff up. That's why Paul says, every man will be without excuse, because it's evident. When it just really and truly, drop the quarters for just a moment. Could it really be all an accident that everything fits so perfectly all the time? Take man out of the equation, take us and our ability to mess stuff up. But either way, nature will just do its beautiful thing forever and ever if left on its own, basically. Cycles, okay? The point being, he made them male and female. We're at a point now where he separated out an energy. You know what I'm talking about? You go to Tesla, you familiar with that verse or his famous quote? He said, if you really want to understand the whole makeup of the universe, what it's all about, and I'm pretty sure it's energy. Oh my gosh, I think I have energy, frequency, and vibration. Let me just shorten those. That's it. Well, that's exactly what we're doing here. Same thing. Threes are very important, but understand, energy, all right? You don't think when Yah spoke and he said, let there be, that it wasn't a huge release. See, as you understand what's going, that's a huge release of what the Torah is, what has been defined by our sages. We didn't make this up. This is the foundation that's been laid. This is how the prophets and everyone, Moshe wrote, these are the way they interpret these icons, these words, okay? That is giving, that is male energy. His word is still going forth. That's what the energy in the word, that when Yah spoke it, it is still moving out there into all occasions. All right. And conversely, so that is male energy. And I want to say, because archetypally, my whole point too in this thing is every single one of us, every single male or female, it doesn't matter. We all have this system in us. See, and this is why it's not like you have men, we have male, everybody has male energy, female. You got a right brain and a left brain. Okay. If you got a right arm and a left arm, if you got a right, you have in archetype, you have this concept of running through you. And I have said this is those serpents that are intertwined on the DNA helix. But you know what? Again, people, he's a liar, a distorter, he's a propagandist. I mean, he can only work with what's already there. All right. He has stolen, and yeah, he is in a little part of that. Yes, he has infiltrated that on the left side. I can show you exactly where it is, where his influence is, but trust me, he is not the whole picture at all. The 1/3, 2/3 really does kind of hold up on the whole thing. But that's a rabbit trail. We're sticking with these large archetypes of male and female. Why not talk about this now, this month? Because hey, it's getting pretty crazy and confusing out there, but it's also getting extremely dangerous because it is such rebellion. It is such rebellion in the mind of people that they could get to that level. I mean, who do you think you are? Where are you going with this? All right. No respect. This is when no fear of Elohim, no understanding that there is, in this video, there is a high God. There are rules to the game. If you break those rules, and there are consequences. And I'm going to tell you where the consequences are and how they're going to function. And we're all kind of reaping this now. Because remember, the rain falls on the just and the unjust at a certain extent. But eventually, that downpour that's coming in judgment, rain, hard, harsh rain, winds from the north, all that language, and toward that's talking about judgment coming big time. All right, from the left side, from the female, but from this area. Okay, because I needed to have my little, I don't have it, my little cube where you take this and you can make it into a into a cube, to a hypercube even. So it's I hope you stick with a lot of all my teachings, because there's so many places you can go with this archetype. Okay, I can take this, lay this on anything, and if it fits, if anything, if your theory, your doctrine, what you've seen in the word, whatever, if you can pin it on the tree of life, I can buy into it. If not, I'm not putting any square pegs in round holes anyway. It's just not going to happen. There is truth. There is truth. And it's a foundation if you can get to it, and you can build on it, but you have to lay it on the correct foundation. Let me just say this last thing. I know this is all over the place. I'm trying a new format. It's kind of fun, kind of stream of consciousness, whatever, because there's so much to begin to think Hebraically. This has been my challenge. It's somewhere you just have to get people to like buy into it, that there is, that maybe we don't know how to think. Evangelical Christian, Ephraim, where we are, seeker who comes out of the world, we really think differently. The world thinks differently. And so you just got to train your mind if you want truth, okay? But let's go to that word. Last thing, amet, okay? Truth. So let's really put truth right here, because T-R-U-T-H. Okay, let's put it right there, which is accurate, because that's right here. See this yellow? Tiferet, right in the middle of this. Basically, and this does represent the throne. This is where Yahweh Elohim is ruling from. He's pouring all of his energy, everything, so to speak, is going into there. And that is where it is really becoming from a spiritual sort of, just the ether, they just call it the ether, into a funnel, which is really like the hub, the spikes of a wheel, the hub of a wheel. And it's like the potter clay. I mean, just everything starts to emanate because it goes through now. Tiferet is so this is really what you have. This is the Father, and then you have the Son. All right, and this is what Yeshua is saying. He said, look at, I am not the Father, I am the Son, but everything that the Father has, He's given me. And the Father said, everything I had, and the Father backed it up, and other it says, yes, I have given all things unto the Son. He's talking about this whole construct, and this is the Son. The Son is the Vav in the Yod He Vav He, but it's so deep, but it's so beautiful, but it fits, it works. And then so we're gonna put truth right here, right? Because everything that we can know now, this is the level where it says you can't really see God in the sense of your physicality, or even you cannot get to. You'll just blow up. Your atoms could never retain any cohesiveness. And I think that's a pretty accurate descriptive probably of the physics of the thing, right? So, but here, things are coming together. All of these are funneling together, and they are coming down here into this concept of physicality, and they are manifesting into something. So the Son is like very important, okay? Just like the sun. This way, what's the difference? That is the most important overarching archetype there is out there in all of nature. You don't get any more than the sun, especially on a blazing beautiful day, and it just radiates and lights up the whole world. Okay, well that's what. And this happens to be the Son, who doesn't say, "Oh, the king." I mean, see, but you have to understand that they're. Well, I want to get into it. All right. So my point being, we're doing truth, which in Hebrew, it's the word emet. That's its transliteration, E-M-E-T, in the Hebrew. But its letters are in Hebrew. I'll try to tell you. It's an aleph. Okay. Emet. It's a mem. Where's my mem here? See, here's a mem. Okay, and it's a T, the ta. Okay, so it has these three letters, but in the Hebrew it's very important, the placement of these. Okay, stay with me just for this last thing. So an aleph is the very first letter of the alphabet. Aleph. Everybody's probably heard the aleph. Aleph. Okay, there's so much packed into that picture, that graphic. It's incredible. But then it goes to a mem. A mem is right in the middle. Okay, so if I lay this thing out all straight, you would see that the mem is right there in the middle, and it has a gematria of 40. This has the gematria of 1, aleph. The gematria of the mem, meaning its number equivalent, is 40. All right, and then we go down here. Tav. Tav is the very last letter of the whole alphabet. The 22 letters of and its gematria is 400, 140, 400. It's very mathematically precise, and because you have hundreds, 2 digits, and single digits. I mean, okay, very logical things are going on here for a very big reason. But my point is, it's the aleph and the tav. So it starts with the first letter and the last letter, truth. Wouldn't that make sense? He's the beginning and the end. All right, nothing exists outside of him. Nothing exists inside of this that he didn't create. All right. So, and then the mem in the middle. So he is the beginning and the end, and he's in the middle. You can't escape it. That's what truth is. And it fits, the letters don't lie. They fit exactly where they're supposed to be. All right. And the aleph is on the male side here on the right side, the olive. This is here, and the mem in the middle. I mean, when you, and mem being the final, there's so much. I got to just keep it here. We're doing one level. We'll get there if you want to stick with me. I have found a pearl of great price. I believe in the tree of life. I'm going to teach it. I can take everything from Torah. I've been doing this for over 12 years and pin it on the tree of life. And it fits, if it works, hey, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Like the male and the female today, don't try to fix it. All right, stick to the archetype and we'll be fine. If you get outside of Yahweh's boundaries, you know how he set it up, sin is, you're going to bring upon yourself, and those who tolerate it are going to reap definite energetic and repercussions. I see that. So we'll keep getting into this deeper and deeper. Shalom. I will see you in the next video.